Hello everybody, I am Hetsko and today I'm back with a brand new video. Today we are doing the second half of my Doctor Who Minecraft map. If you want to see the first half, where we go through every console room that I've ever managed to build, then please go and do that. That's very exciting. Hopefully linked in the description below or just on the channel in general. But today we're looking at the big things. We're going to be going through Gallifrey, Trenzalore and a lot more. So buckle yourselves in and let's get going. So, to get to Gallifrey on this map, and I'm going to have to show you because it is a bit ridiculous, you have to follow your corridors right. You have to find the room that looks like this. It's connected with two corridors, so it shouldn't be too hard. Confession, dial, teleport, no quick return. Try to replicate the idea from Heaven Sent. Stand in this for a couple of seconds and you are in the castle from Heaven Sent. Well, not so much the castle from Heaven Sent. A very scaled down, hey, you can play through this version of that specific episode. But you can have a look round. You know, as I said, it's not 100% accurate, obviously, because the castle in that episode is meant to be massive. But looking through here, you've got the table where the Doctor can sit at and have his soup. Walking around here is the fire that the Doctor takes his clothes off at. Clothes obviously sitting there, not the sonic sunglasses though. We've got the velvet jacket and the trousers and the boots and everything, so that's all sitting there ready for the next round of 12 Doctors to fall in and get ready, I suppose. Picture of Clara Oswald hanging above the fireplace there. You may notice that the window is smashed. You can jump out of it into the water below. And you can look over here to get back to where your clothes are waiting for you. Back garden area. Realistically, the time should be set to midnight. But I'll forgive that for now. You can get yourself a shovel. You can dig down. You can't. But you could dig down if you wanted to. Walking back out of here, though. And that'll bring it out onto the top tower where it's got the skull waiting for you, and you can kind of look out over the rest of the map. There was no real easy way to sort of cover up the whole rest of the map, so I kind of have to just nicely show it off. And I think it is a nice hotspot. I might even put a sign here saying, have a look at the entire map. Isn't it beautiful? See if you can find all the Easter eggs in the Tardis that I didn't quite get to show you, and see if you can find it when you actually play it. So that'll be quite fun. There are a few rooms in there that aren't specifically that ones that I didn't show you last time. So there you go. Entrance right down here. Pop down this corridor, and you're in the room with a sort of diamondy wall thing. You can't really punch through, but you can just walk in. Let's just say the 12th Doctor's already been here, which he has, and then we can walk. And here we are, we land on Gallifrey. Actually look in this hut, and you'll probably recognise this hut, of course. I tried to replicate the scene from Day of the Doctor, where I got both the Tardises nicely sitting there. Obviously both of them look the same, which obviously isn't accurate, and neither of them have interiors. But you have got the Doctor's old bed up here, with a bit of a chest in with nothing in, but it's all quite nicely replicated to look a little bit like how we did in the show. You've got the moment as well with the big red buttonette poking out the top. But there's only one way to get to Gallifrey really if you're a peasant, and that is by walking. So we are going to speed this up. And so we come here, pretty much, overlooking this massive, massive citadel. I've got to say, this took me a long time to build. This single-handedly was mental. It was such a massive project, especially when you want to make the whole thing equal as well. It's come out really nicely, thankfully. I've attached it to these little spires that come out here. You can see the little bit of Gallifrey town there. Just as a sort of distant shot, it looks better when it has surrounding buildings. But if you come into Gallifrey, you can find this sort of ladder here, and you can make your way onto the surface where we have another little experience for you wonderful lot, but you have to find it first. You can't just walk into the citadel and expect to be let everywhere. You have to find your way in, you have to be very careful and sneaky about it. And if we find the right place at the right time, there's a hole in the middle of the Gallifrey surface, a bit mysterious, but if we jump down, we can have a look into this. The cloisters. Now, obviously not 100% accurate to how it is in the show, but you got a bit of a Dalek there, you got a bit of a Mondasian Sideman over there. You haven't really got much else to be honest, but it is quite nice, a nice little area. You can jump down and find a TARDIS, a very early access TARDIS. This is, yeah, let's not do that yet. But you can have a look at a few things. We'll go into the lift second. We'll have a look in the TARDIS first though, because you go right into pretty much the Hellbent one, a little bit nicer though. Flip this lever on the wall though, and you get yourself to one and only the end of the universe, where a shielder is sitting overlooking it. Right, so coming out of the TARDIS, we go to the elevator because that's the only place we can go. We can't exactly crawl up the wall. We have an option of the cloisters or the citadel surface. We're going to go to the cloisters. which brings us here. We can also take the lift up to the Forbidden Weapons Gallery, which is the next room. A scaled down version of what was seen in Day of the Doctor when they all walked down a corridor. I want to have something to put here, so if you have any suggestions, please do tell me in the comments. But we have the moment resting on a little plinth here, as well as something nice and a little bit of a throwback, the Genesis Ark from Doomsday. But next we go to the War Room. The War Room, again, once again, scaled down massively, but is the room from Day of the Doctor where all 13 Doctors appear around the table on little holograms as the sort of Gallifreyan citadel collapses. So that's quite nice to have, I suppose, and it is, yeah, it's quite small, and there's a reason for that I'll tell you in a bit. We next go to the Extraction Chamber, as seen in Hellbent, a very white-based room, but you can use the Extraction Chamber because it takes you directly into the street from Face the Raven. I decided to add this in, you know, again, despite me not liking Hellbent very much. It is quite nice as a reference just to be able to walk around here. The only house you can go in is this one, as it's the one from right at the end of the episode where the climax takes place. It's got the reddish walls. Can't go up the stairs though. It's quite a basic. It is just, I've tried to build this as more of a set piece than a genuine street, as you'll be able to tell. If you run past those limits, the illusion is kind of dead. Next we have the council room, as you'll probably famously know. If you look out, you might be able to realise where we actually are here. The highest point in Gallifrey. You can look out and have a look on the citadel, how high we actually are up. The roof of this does actually touch the top of the dome, I think, so that's pretty cool. And before we go back down again, we can actually look at the Senate of the Time Lords, as seen in The End of Time. Just a big room full of little plinths where people can sort of stand on and shout Gallifreyan things. It was seen in that episode, and it is included in one of my favourite scenes where Rassilon just bellows at all the other Time Lords. So it is pretty cool to see, personally anyway, and I was quite happy to build this. But I do want to show you all as well why everything's so small. Because, to make it kind of realistic, I didn't want to teleport away and back. Everything is built into this tower in the middle. The main Gallifreyan building, as I said, obviously, you've got the War Council room right at the top here. Down here somewhere will be... yeah, that's the extraction chamber down there. Yeah, extraction chamber. Going a little bit further down, I believe we get to the war room there. Down here we have the forbidden weapons and stuff. This is actually a spare room, so if I wanted to put something in this, that if Gallifrey ever appeared in the future and I quite liked a room, I could whack it in here. But realistically, that is pretty much it for that. And obviously, the Senate is in this massive sort of rounded bit at the bottom. None of these buildings have anything in, and it's all quite nicely contained. I wanted to build Gallifrey to be the most practical it can ever be for a sort of Minecraft map, and I feel like I've achieved that. I've added loads of key official Gallifreyan rooms from Gallifrey, in like Modern Who especially. And it does look over quite nicely and does look absolutely beautiful from a distance, if I do say so myself. And I'm allowed to say that because I spent so bloody long on it. We do also have the Rassilon Tower from the Death Zone in the Five Doctors. Not really in the right place of Gallifrey, of course, but I've tried to replicate this nicely. It was a nice looking building, and you know, what took the longest was getting that symbol on the top right. Doesn't actually go anywhere. I kind of wanted to wait till I've seen the Five Doctors to make a proper accurate inside, as I don't want to have to replace everything. But at the moment, it is just a nice background object alongside the hills. This is the Untempered Schism, if you will. A sort of gateway into a time vortex that you can kind of look into. Just a nice little extra built into a hill, because, you know, it's a cool 3D effect there. Yeah, and that's kind of it for Gallifrey. So now we're going to go to Trenzalore. So now we're heading into Matt Smith's TARDIS, but before we go to Trenzalore, I thought I'll show you what's actually through this door, because the TARDIS is currently on a Dalek Paradigm ship from Series 5. I thought I'd add this in. It's a nice little extra, I suppose, for those fans. I wanted to make Daleks, and I had to think of a way to incorporate the Daleks in. Didn't really want to build the Crucible, or like half of Earth, Westminster Bridge, you know what I mean? We'll zap that lever, and the TARDIS is dead. That's because there's no power, because the TARDIS has shut off all its power to crash down at Trenzalore. It wouldn't let us, canonically. Oh, that's better. We walk out these steps here and onto the surface of Trenzalore. As you can see, massive TARDIS. That's all that's here. Other than, of course, this light over here, which leads to River Song's grave, which you can fall under, go into the crypt, and which will eventually take you to the TARDIS, which you can eventually get yourself up. area where the Doctor meets the Great Intelligence again for the last time. Right to the sort of top, you get the scale of the size of the windows and the rest of the box as well. You can go into these doors here, if you see the Doctor's name, of course, and it leads you into the time stream, or the dead version of the TARDIS. You may notice this looks significantly smaller. That's because I built this before I rebuilt the current TARDIS, so this fits perfectly inside the police box, the massive police box, whereas the new one doesn't really. So yeah, we're here now, ready to enjoy that. But you can in fact run into the time stream, and you'll end up in the sort of end of the time stream zone where John hurt. And when you're done, you get teleported back here, back into your TARDIS, and you can hop back on and pop back to the Dalek paradigm ship or home. And yeah, that is pretty much it for Trenzalore. But you can go to the university vault. Try to be replicated as well as I possibly could here. You can go into the vault with the piano and the seats and the nicely designed room. You don't see much of the vault, but this is the kind of impression I got. I had to make it symmetrical in design and make it look a little bit nice, so here's my best interpretation of it. The vault again, you can actually climb up these stairs here, go outside the little woodland area, and right next to the wall of the university, bring you straight into the lecture theatre where, of course, the 12th Doctor gives his lectures out to all the students. So this is just a nicely made version. I had to try and replicate as well as possible. I changed the picture to Clara Oswald because I didn't want to texture something completely different. But you can climb up here, you can do stuff. The police box is here, on top of this rug, which I thought was a nice touch. So we walk around here, and we're going to go to the Mondasian colony ship. This is something else that I included with this map that I am really quite happy with. From one of my favourite episodes of all time from the series, World Enough and Time. I've tried to replicate it as nice as possible, having the sort of ceiling looking up there at a black hole. Obviously, in Minecraft it's quite hard to create a black hole, so I've kind of done it with different colours and such to make it look quite nice and random and stuff. I've got the screens and monitors here just reused from the TARDIS set. You can also go in the elevator as well. Now, it says floor 3. This isn't floor 3, this is floor 1, but obviously it's like the elevator is slowly ticking up. Seconds before Bill Potts gets ended. Sort of area where Missy finds out which planet it's from, and sort of where Sim is sort of sitting around here somewhere. Coming through this way, you can have a look in the hospital ward, where all the Mondasian patients should be waiting. There's the curtain which looks out over the city. We're not going to look out there though because it doesn't exist. But if you go into this room here, it's the operating theatre where Bill Potts was converted into a Cyberman. I've tried to include, like, because I only had to make one texture for the Mondasian Cybermen, I tried to include like patients there, so that the heads sort of turn the other way around that you can't really see, so that kind of works I suppose. But if you look in this cupboard, the famous place where we did in fact see Bill Potts as a Mondasian Cyberman for the very first time, we do have a Mondasian Cyberman in here who will attack you if you provoke him, but I'm not just going to leave him in there. Or her, could be a her. In fact, it might be a her. That is the same place where Bill emerged. Going over here, we can go up the wonderful, long, beautiful staircase here. You'll find the area of which, at the beginning of the Doctor Falls, where Missy and John Sim, as Master, had a bit of a dance. Right in front of Peter Capaldi, who's of course sitting in a little bit of a wheelchair, and it doesn't really overlook anything, and is just a big black box. That's kind of ruining the effect though. Let's go back over here. Kind of replicates the sort of hospital-y look. You can't quite go through this door, although I wish we could. I might have to add something onto that actually, because that would be quite cool. But other than that, it is just a nice little rooftop area. Again, a lot of these are just time zones that you can just jump to and just sort of chill about, or, you know, if you want to make something on YouTube, then you can do it here, because it's pretty cool, it's quite accurate, at least I like to think anyway. But anyway, that is pretty much it. We're going to go back to the TARDIS, and I'm going to see if I forgot anything. So yeah, that is it. Back to square one. We're back, and we've seen everything. This map will be coming out, hopefully, as soon as Series 11 airs, or whenever the TARDIS gets shown for the first time. As I said in the last episode, I have made Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS, and I didn't really think about that before making this sort of stuff, because now I can't release the map without showing you what the TARDIS looks like. So we're keeping it here and mostly private for now. When the TARDIS gets shown in the show, I'm going to make my final improvements to this version of the console, and then I'll be able to show you all and release it, and I'll make a video about it and stuff where you can go and download the map. But currently, I'm still working on it. It's a bit of a showcase of what I've been up to and stuff, but I hope you're excited for me to drop it, because it is quite a big map and it has taken a very much long time. If you enjoyed this video though, make sure you leave a like, comment below for any more Doctor Who based suggestions in the future, subscribe if you haven't already, do check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel, and check out the Discord server if you want to gush about Doctor Who and other sci-fi shows 24/7. I'll see you all next time, have a lovely day, bye bye.